It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And so sorry, guys, I've been a little MIA. Um, I don't know what to tell you. We've had the grandkids, and I don't know, I've just been kind of taking a break. Not from you, miss you, love you, just from kind of life in general. I got obsessed with this new game on my phone. It's called Wordscapes, and it's crossword puzzles. Oh, God. Deep dive, people, deep dive. I'm spending hours. Okay. Oh, so here we are though. It a situation where this is a was an annual maintenance. This is a yard I put in about 5 or 6 years ago. Last year they skipped maintenance because they were going to do a home remodel, but then changed their mind. So this is what happens when you don't have Team DFS come to do maintenance for 2 years. It's on crack. Check this out. We got a lot of rain last night, and this little aloe um, brevifolia is underwater. I don't understand why. Oh, I don't know. So weird. So much water. Let's check that old drainage hole. Yeah, it's just absolutely saturated. I'm looking up to see, but no, there's nothing.
I think it was all that soil that.
Yeah, it just built up, right? Because look at that, it's drained. You know what? I'm going to put this here in the rocks so it can continue to drain, and then I'll put it back on its saucer before we leave. Obviously, the gutters need love. We got to rework the gutters, and then we're going to do some major edits. I've decided to remove and rehome these Petalanthus bracteatus. Now that the crassulas have filled in so beautifully, they're just messy. It's just giving me hives. Also, kind of sad, I had planted this apple tree, this Anna apple, with the goal of exfoliating. Sorry about the pronunciation, butchering. But I wanted to exfoliate it on this big trellis. And apples work really well for that because the wood is very soft and pliable. But I don't know now if I can do it because it's got grown and we've got this. Yeah, it's gonna, I don't know, we'll see. But that was the idea with the fruit trees, was to exfoliate. The Portulacaria afrovariegatas, we are going to rehome them. This clients have a gardener and he manages to maintain the hedges, and clearly he does also come back and he keeps cutting the Portulacaria up off the wall. And the whole idea initially was to for this to be a spiller, and if they don't want that, then there's no point. So we'll get rehome the Portulicarias. This, what did we decide about this Orgealis? I think it's okay, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll just clean this up. This Senecio we're removing because it's also just extraneous now. And, you know, some of these pieces, we're cutting big branchy pieces because once we get these things out, we may want to set some things back in and start over as cuttings. And that's the beauty of succulents, as you know, is we can do that. But I mean, seriously. Oh, also, this is a lot airier back here now. The neighbors, the great neighbors, had this giant tree. I don't remember what kind, but it was huge and it provided a lot of shade, and there were leaves falling all the time. And I think that's another reason why this has exploded, is the microclimate has been seriously altered, and now this receives a lot more direct sun and air. Also in Clairemont, this is San Diego, not Los Angeles. Our Clairemont, this microclimate is spectacular. It never freezes. It never even gets close to freezing. They get the coastal influence, so it doesn't get that hot. And the plants, oh, clearly, right? Love, love, love. You know, and it's so fun to come back to my earlier iterations and see how I've evolved. You know, I just didn't have, I didn't have the palette of plants then that I do now. And my go-tos were, you know, jade, and more jade. And I don't regret it. I mean, it's beautiful. And jades are still my solution for small flower beds, you know, where you just want a kind of a hedge type of a look. But yes, these are needing to be dialed in. And what we're going to attempt is to lace these plants rather than dig everything out, cut it, and reset it. So we're going to attempt to do some lacing. And the difference between lacing and sizing is where you just cut everything down, you know, where we just go through here like this and then come across the top and then everything is SpongeBob SquarePants. No, we want it to look really open and natural. So we're going to take our time. This orange tree, I don't know what to say. It's giant. So I am going to be, it's more aesthetic than it is practical. They're not in it for the fruit really, more for the look of it. So I am going to open this up a lot too and get a lot of the weight of this off and expose that trellis. This petalanthus is also coming out. Don't need it. Mel is over here working on this, getting this portulacaria out. The irrigation in here is subterranean drip, and it's just a polyline. Well, not polyline. It's a dripper line in the front and a dripper line in the back. Greg is here today, too, to check irrigation and make some adjustments. They wanted jasmine. I remember this. I wasn't necessarily for it. And now, you know, in my opinion, this is prime real estate that's being completely wasted because look at this. Star jasmine, and it has to be cut. It's been just butchered, so it doesn't have an opportunity to bloom, and it's just probably home for rodents. And then the gardener has gotten really creative with the podocarpus. M. Okay, they're healthy. Then got this wonderful aloe Goliath, which I wouldn't change a thing. So pretty. This sticks on fire. I am not going to pull this entire plant out, cut it up, and reset it. I don't have the energy, and I don't think it's necessary. I think all we need to do is very carefully with gloves, because we don't want to get the sap on our hands or in our eyes, but we'll cut, bring this down to heal a bit and flip the pot around. Work with the plant rather than cut it all up and reset it. We're going to try that. And this aloe Dakari, maybe? There's hardly any soil left in this pot, but you know what? Other than just doing what I'm doing now, you know, cleaning up the trunks, I like it. So we're going to let that ride. All of my rock work has held up pretty well. We've got the little salt and pepper pebble and a little bit of black 3/8 lava and then some rubble. So we'll, you know, tighten that up a little bit, but generally speaking, looking good. This Crassula undulata is giving me life. This is what it's supposed to be, guys. This is that succulent hedge I'm always going on and banging on about. Look at that. I mean, no pruning, very little water. It just, and if you do need to trim it, you know, like there's a piece right here that looks a little conky wonkus. Yeah, I mean, it's jade, so you don't even need clippers. And then look, you've got a beautiful little new start. But yeah, this stuff is so soft. You just crack it off and get on with your day. How about that? Doesn't get any easier than that. When I turned the corner to come here and check out this property before I gave our client an estimate for the maintenance, this is the first thing I saw. This Pachypodium lemurei. I couldn't believe how huge it had gotten. We are actually going to move this. And you can see what's happening is smart, and it knew that it was coming for the rafters, so it began to move itself out. And then for support, I see some girdling of root, and then a root in the back. I think it threw off more to hold itself in place. Fascinating. But again, as a succulent, this is not going to be, that big of a deal. We'll probably take the Sawzall. I don't know how far down the roots go. I think they're probably pretty superficial, but we don't need a whole lot of root, just a little. This Euphorbia millii is really pretty back here. All of this little soft stuff, we did this little tapestry stuff. This is all going to get harvested and pulled into the gutters. So anywhere you see any little setivaria or sedum or graptivaria, the little, all of the little echeverias even are going to go into the gutters. We're just going to, really convert this into more of a specimen type garden moving forward. This cotyledon is one of my favorites. This is mint truffles, and it's coming out of here completely. And we're going to have so many new plants to work with as cuttings when we do that. Once this comes out, I'm sure I'm not going to have a problem finding something to put in here that'll be smaller. This millii is the prettiest. This is ready red, and it's the prettiest I've ever seen.
Yeah, you can't even see it.
It's so stunning. So this is going to be kind of a challenge right here. I'll have Hannah go on the other side of Greg's truck so you can kind of see from a distance how pretty this little yard really is. We are going to make some changes in that some of this Portulacaria is going to come out. I'm going to take out this Aloe Cameronii and work with it as cuttings and pieces because this is too crowded here. We are going to have to dig out the sticks on fire and do some resetting because I do not want to turn this into some kind of a, pruned hedge. I'm going to pull the Bracteatus from here and from that corner. Just leave the one in the middle, and because it's just a little much now. Also, our agave blue glow, we had one there, it bloomed out, so I replaced it a couple of years ago, and now the Aluaudia procera has grown to such an extent that it just feels a little crowded. So I'll move that blue glow probably back here where this big stand of Portulacaria is going to come out. Then this beautiful stand of Crassula argentea sunset, I am going to move over here and take this Crassula ovata out and use it for cuttings. This Orgealis is so pretty, isn't it? That's, I think, the prettiest Orgealis I've ever seen. And we'll work on lacing that a little bit and making its profile a little bit smaller. And here's another example of microclimates. Behind you, Hannah, there's another Ready Red. That was planted at the same time as the one we just looked at. And it's not nearly, it's pretty, but it isn't nearly as big as the one over here. So there you have that. Then, look at all of the snail carcasses in this barrel cactus. What is up with that? Do they come here? Is it like a suicide pack or something? Did they all make a decision together to go at once? Or I don't even understand. Boom, there's another one there. What that's all about. But like with this barrel, if you wanted to crack off this pup, you could and plant it. I'm not going to because I like, and this is a personal thing. I like mom with her babies close. Some people prefer just specimens. In this case, I really like, and I think it's got a lot of character, that pup. We will obviously, how we love to clean off all the spent blooms. This is so fun. It's like squeezing blackheads. Yeah, so we'll take care of that. This aloe, I think it's T-Rex. Hannah really likes it cuddled up there to the barrel, so I'm gonna let that ride. We'll take out this little, oh my gosh, that's so funny, the little Talavera tipped pot. It's got a lot of little Echeveria Saharas in it. So I'm going to take that all apart and move those Saharas into the gutters, I think. And then we'll leave this Portulacaria, but we're going to take this one out. And then we'll figure out something. We have lots of things to choose from. We'll put something probably here. This might, especially moving this blue glow, this might feel a little bare right here. So we'll figure out something that we can stick there. But you know, at the end of the day, the idea is to just bring this garden back to heal. It's gotten up really out of control. And to develop this corner piece by the driveway. This is actually the neighbor's property, but they're really nice and told the client, you know, do what you want. So, you know, I had originally just run rubble and did some decorative stuff here to kind of delineate, and they had some big ugly, I don't even remember what, but yucca. It was a big yucca, I think right here. And now it's just empty. So we're going to move that Pachypodium lemerii over here to be the statement, and then other cuttings that we're able to pull from various projects in the yard we'll plant with it and just create a whole new design. I'll rework all this rubble, and this is just going to be absolutely reinvented. Here she blows.
Do you want us to bring it like back up?
No.
Or over? Let's walk towards this way now. I can feel it.
Maybe up a little bit. If you can. Yeah, a little bit.
And we're off.
Oh yeah, we can hang it off the curb.
Nice work, guys. Yeah. Okay. So, feeling good. Feeling like this is going to be a good year in this garden. I was successful in opening up the fruit trees to create more of that espalier kind of vibe, which I'm really happy with. And it turns out Greg came to check the irrigation and to run water to the little area that we did where we planted the pachypodium out front, and to fix a couple little breaks. And their battery had died in the controller, and the irrigation has been going off every day. Nice try. The irrigation's been going off every day for I don't know how long. So that explains this. Because honestly, I mean, I know we've had a lot of rain, but seriously, this growth is just insane. So, you know, those of you, I really appreciate you folks that live in harsher climates where it's difficult to grow these plants and you have to baby them and bring them inside in the winter. And, you know, any inch of growth is reason for celebration. But please understand, for those of you who find this type of maintenance painful to watch, here in San Diego, these plants literally grow like weeds. So it is critically important for me to be in a garden with my crew at least once a year to keep them looking their best. So we added more burgundy lava at the base of the plants. I opened up a bunch of stuff. All of these gutter plants were just harvested from the property here. The guys did a beautiful job resetting all of the gutters. Spent a lot of time on that. Yeah, so we addressed all the pots, laid down fresh, refreshed all of the rock everywhere. Just looks so good. So good. Yeah, that Sticks on Fire basically that pot just got flipped around, and so I'm happy with that. It's a one-off, a statement. It matches the other two. It's good. And then are so pleased that we had the room to move some things, over to this side of the yard. So here we go. Got the pachypodium in. And I just pulled some cuttings from the garden, moved some of the rubble around a little bit, just kind of softened it and made it a little messy instead of such a straight line. Because remember, not technically, this is the neighbors. But yeah, I'm just super happy with that. That looks really good. Really, really good. So glad. And then over here, I don't know. I mean, it looks a lot cleaner, but I can't really tell where we took a bunch of stuff out. It's crazy. I cut this jade was monstrous, so cut it up and just put a piece back. Moved a couple of smaller aloes that were in here over to the other side. We moved the agave blue glow to the back. I was able to move a couple of the T-Rex from in front of this barrel cactus over here to kind of fill in that gap. That's where the blue glow was. We took out, as you can see, a significant amount of Portulacaria. We reset the Sticks on Fire. I removed 2 of the Petalanthus that were, there were 3 back there, and I just left the 1 and replaced them with cuttings of jade. I also cut a bit of this Cameronii up, used it in other places. I did not touch this Millii. It's just too perfect. I couldn't do it. And I did clean and open this Ungi up just a little bit from underneath, but basically maintained the shape as it was. This area where the Pachypodium lemurei was, you'd never know it, right? It just looks so good. I didn't have the heart to mess with that Millii either. Somebody left their food. Oh, that's your food. Great. Okay, so yeah, then down here, we moved a Crassula argentea sunset that was somewhere else. And I was able to lace and shrink this Kalanchoe orgialis up significantly, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It doesn't look hacked up at all. We just popped in a little Crassula argentea sunset here in place of that petalanthus. And yeah, just freshened up the rock. So, woo, that was a very long day and a lot of work. But as always, we're absolutely thrilled with the result and are very much looking forward to... What? What's happening? Oh, Hannah's like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Any rate, so happy with this maintenance. And again, thank you guys so much for your patience in my absence. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I just needed a minute. This has been Laura Eubanks reporting from Clairemont, California with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.